Hello and welcome to another CAD clip on AutoCAD 2007. In this lesson, we're going to talk about planar surfaces. And over here on our dashboard, we've dabbled a little bit with this already. I'm just going to move this out a little bit so we can see all these. You notice there was a little bit of a fly out there. Planar surface, really nothing exciting. And the key word here is planar, meaning on one plane, and it creates a surface. Really nothing complicated about this at all. There's a couple ways of doing it. All we're trying to do is create a surface, and then from there we can either thicken that surface or extrude or push pull or leave it as its own surface and model our object in surfaces. So there's different ways of applying the surface tool, but a planar surface right over here on our dashboard we're going to talk about. Nothing really too exciting, as I said, but definitely some nice improvements. So we'll talk about that. And really there's two ways. Once you execute the command, it's going to ask us for the first corner or the other corner, or we can just specify an object. And really it works just like the rectangle command if you just use it out of the box like this. And it's going to ask us for first corner. And then when we go to place the second corner, the problem here is, the big catch, if I can teach you anything in this lesson, is that if your ortho is on, it won't look right. So I haven't seen that anywhere on a book or in a blog anywhere or any of the manuals. So there's a little tip for you right here from me to you, is that when you go to place your surface, okay, if you have ortho on, it'll cause you problems. So take your ortho off and then you just create that surface and hit enter, hit enter, hit enter, and you're creating surfaces. There's some set vars in here called surf V, vertical, and surf U, and the capitals are non-significant here. And basically vertical and the V and the U, vertical and horizontal, I guess, and we'll test that out, set vars, and it's for the density of that surface. And of course we don't want to make it too fine, but we don't want to make it too bulky. And when we start applying materials and start using our visual styles, we'll see the effect of that. So to start with, let's just plug that in. Let's type in SUR surf V, okay, is set to be 6. Let's set it to be 4. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing, bink, bink, and 1, 2, 3, 4 vertical lines outside of the perimeter. Okay, I'm going to type in SURFU, and I'm going to set that to be 10. Enter. And now I'm going to do my planar surface, and I'm going to pick a point. Okay, it's going to have 10 lines going horizontally and 4 lines going vertically, and that will be no matter what shape we do. Okay, let's continue along. We're going to go planar surface. Instead of just picking a box, okay, we're going to say O for object, or we can hit an enter, and then we can just pick these objects and hit enter. Okay, and there we have 1, 2, 3, 4. That way 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 going in that direction. Okay, so that surf U and surf V applies whether you're doing a rectangle box or whether you're doing converting other surfaces. So if we just go back, I'm going to use my arrow key, surf V, and set that to be 6, and then use my arrow key to go back, scroll through surf U and set that to be 6. Okay, and then I go and do my surface plane, planar surface, hit an enter, pick these objects, and now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 6. And that's a surface, and we can go look at that in 3D. Okay, can we do a push-pull on a surface? Doesn't appear we can. Let's just make sure. No, let's do an extrude instead. Aha, extrude we can. Okay, go back to our visual styles. So we can extrude a surface. Okay, from what I'm discovering, we cannot push-pull a surface. Or press pull. I always say push pull. Press pull. And then of course from there on you can start to use all your Boolean operations and everything else. Okay, extrude, this, enter, up we go. Use our visual styles. Have a look at that. Okay, erase that. Okay, and then we can go in and use some other objects. Okay, so we can use just the rectangle option by picking points and turning our ortho off, or we can use a combination of objects that are all on the same plane. Combination of lines, circles, arcs, ellipses, elliptical arcs, 2D polylines, planar 3D polylines, a planar spine. Notice planar meaning on the same plane. Okay, so we can use all of these objects from here up to create the planar surface. So here we have a polyline, we have an arc, we have a circle, we have an ellipse. Okay, I'm just going to use my trim command, trim, enter. Okay, and then I'm going to use my fence option, and I'm just going to maybe trim some of these objects away so I have something like that. Okay, doesn't matter, I can change the shape of this, do whatever I want with it. Okay, move this over here beforehand, doesn't matter. Okay, take this arc, move it back up to there. Okay, then I can, oh, doesn't matter what I do to extend these objects. Okay, planar surface, enter for objects, pick this, enter, and there we go. And look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the density of this will make a difference later when we try to do different things with the surfaces, but now that's a surface, and we can go to our 3D view, and we can use our thicken surface, which we'll do in a lesson yet to come if you haven't seen it already, or we can go in and we can use the extrude. So nothing really super exciting here, but just some more progress with our 3D in AutoCAD 2007, creating planar surfaces, and then we can use those surfaces later to turn into our 3D solid models if we want to.